ay bagong tubo pa lang ito, di ba? What you will think is a form of malocclusion. So pwedeng anterior open bite, kaya hindi nagko-contact yung ngipin, pwede rin na class 2 malocclusion. Okay. Then cusp. Okay, cusp are the lobes in your posteriors. So lobes of posterior teeth will become your cusp. It's an elevation or mound on the crown portion of a tooth, making up a divisional part of the occlusal surface. Now you have to understand that lobes in posteriors are separated by developmental groups. Kaya pag titingnan nyo yung inyong mga cusp, especially in molars, you would notice that each cusp are separated by developmental groups. Tama? So ito, separating these two cusp, ito, separating these two cusp. So if lobes in anterior teeth are separated by developmental depressions, lobes in posterior teeth are separated by developmental groups. Okay, tubercle. It is a smaller elevation on some portion of the crown, manifesting as a supernumerary cusp. A very good example of a tubercle is your cusp of Carabelli, found in the mesiolingual cusp of your first molar. There is no other tooth, permanent tooth with a cusp of Carabelli. Okay, so you only found it on the mesiolingual part or mesiolingual surface of the mesiolingual cusp of the maxillary first molar. Now, there's also developmental anomalies that present as tubercles, right? Ano yung developmental anomalies na yan? Developmental anomalies presenting as tubercle, you have your Leong's premolar. Leong's premolar. And you have your, ano pa yung isa? Talon's cusp. Okay. Which are actually what you call, kaya anong tawag niyo sa developmental anomalies na to? Okay, together you call them your dens evaginatus, diba? We call them collectively dens evaginatus. Okay, these are developmental tubercles that are a product of developmental anomalies. Okay. Then we have the cingulum. It's a mesiodistal convexity encircling the lingual cervical third of an anterior tooth. This represents the lingual lobe in anteriors. Okay, making up the bulk of the cervical third of the lingual surface. Now question, do all anteriors, kasi sabi natin, have a cingulum? Yes or no? Lahat ba ng anterior teeth natin may cingulum? What's your answer? Yes. Okay. So all anteriors have a cingulum. Yun nga lang, it is not that prominent in your mandibular anteriors. So if you are asked how many cingulum do you have have 12 cingulum, one for each of your anterior teeth. Okay, now, not all cingulum are at the center. Okay, so meron lang teeth with cingulum that's at the center of the tooth. Okay, the others have a cingulum that is off-centered. Okay, now teeth with a cingulum located at the center, so kalahati yan. Okay, half at the center, half centered. So ano yung kalahating nasa center? You have your maxillary lateral, maxillary canine, and mandibular central incisor. Okay, while those that are located off-centered, okay, so off-centered, towards the distal, o baka tanungin kayo, nasan siya, mesial or distal? Nasa distal. You have the maxillary central, the mandibular lateral, the mandibular canine. Diba? You only have to memorize half of it. Okay, kunwari, gusto niyo lang i-memorize yung nasa center, alam niyo na rin kung ano yung off-centered kasi half-half naman sila. Now, ridge, these are linear elevations on the surface of a tooth and they are named according to location. Okay, wait lang class ha, I'll just drink water. Nagdadry kasi yung lips ko kasi meron akong ulcer. Kaya ang hirap magsalita. Wait lang, I'll just drink water. Ayan. Okay, nakagat ko kasi yung lip ko. Kumakain ako kagabi, so ang sakit-sakit. Okay, so ridges, 8 naman to. So you have, okay, labial ridge. Yan. You have a buccal ridge or what they call a cusp ridge. You have a cervical ridge. You have marginal ridges. Okay, so diba location yan? Nasa labial surface, nasa buccal surface, nasa cervical area, nasa marginal area of the tooth. Meron din tayong shape, triangular. Meron din tayong transverse ridge. Meron din tayong oblique ridge. At meron din tayong lingual ridge. Okay. Now, pag labial ridge, alam na natin na nasa anterior to kasi the word labial pertains to an anterior tooth. Pag buccal ridge naman, alam na natin na posterior tooth naman ito. Okay, sa posterior teeth natin. So, ang labial ridge is found only on canines. So, it runs cervico-incisally in the labial surface of canines. Now, both maxillary and mandibular canines have a labial ridge, but it is more prominent on, okay, the maxillary canine. Okay, so labial ridge is found on both canines, but it's more prominent on the maxillary canine. Buccal or cusp ridge naman sa premolars naman. Okay, it's similar to the labial ridge in canines, but this is found in premolars, both first and second maxillary mandibular. So this runs cervico-occlusally in the buccal surface of premolars. Okay, and it is more prominent on first than on second. Yeah. So a buccal ridge is seen only on premolars, first, second maxillary mandibular. But if you compare, okay, the size of the buccal ridge, it is more prominent on the first than on the second premolar. Okay, now cervical ridge runs mesiodistally on the cervical third of the buccal surface of all primary teeth. Lahat ng primary and on permanent molars only. Okay, so nasa buccal surface. Actually, sa primary, meron din sa lingual, but not as prominent as the one that you find on the buccal. Okay. And then marginal ridge, okay, they are rounded borders of enamel, okay, found on all teeth. Lahat ng ngipin natin may marginal ridge, di ba? Mandibular, maxillary, okay, anterior, posterior. Pag anteriors nga lang nasa lingual, mesially and distally. Okay, so it's on the lingual surface. Pag naman posteriors, it's on the occlusal surface, mesial and distal borders then. Now, triangular ridges, they are called as such because of their shape. So the slopes resemble the slopes of a triangle, the sides of a triangle. So they start from a cusp tip, they descend from a cusp tip, found in molars and premolars toward the central part of the occlusal surface. So they are usually found on posterior teeth. Transverse ridge is the union of two triangular ridges. Union of two triangular ridges. Okay, it is the union of a lingual triangular ridge of a buccal cusp. Pag buccal cusp, ang tawag natin sa kanya lingual triangular ridge. Pag naman lingual cusp, buccal triangular ridge. O diba? Panglito. Okay, so these two will form a transverse ridge. So it's called a transverse ridge because it will connect two cusps. Okay, so it will cross the occlusal surface buccolingually. So where do we find transverse ridges? In premolars and molars as well. So it's between the mesiobuccal and mesiolingual cusp, or the distolingual and distobuccal cusp of molars, and between the buccal and the lingual cusp of premolars. Hindi pwedeng between, so it should be between two mesial and two distal cusp in molars. Hindi pwedeng mesial at distal, okay? Kasi pag ganyan na siya. Diba? It's no longer a transverse ridge. Kapag ganito siya, oblique ridge na yan. Okay? So an oblique ridge, it's the union of two ridges. What are these two ridges? You have the distal cusp ridge of the mesiolingual cusp and the triangular ridge of the distobuccal cusp. Okay, ito lumabas na rin. What cusps are connected by an oblique ridge? It connects your mesiolingual and your distobuccal cusp. So kita nyo yung direction, since between a mesial and a distal cusp, okay, slant siya, kaya nga oblique ridge. Saan lang natin makikita ang oblique ridges? In maxillary molars only. Yan. Only maxillary molars would have an oblique ridge. Okay. Pwede rin, you could have it in both primary and permanent maxillary molars. Okay. Then you have the lingual ridge. A lingual ridge is only found on canines. So again, canines lang ang may lingual ridge. Kaya ang canines merong ridge sa lingual, may ridge din siya sa labial. Okay, so it's from cingulum to cusp tip naman. The lingual ridge will divide the lingual fossa of canines into two. Mesial lingual fossa and distal lingual fossa. Yan. Okay, so ito yan. Okay. Ang lingual ridge, again, mas prominent, okay, more prominent on the maxillary canine than on the mandibular canine. So yan ang lingual ridge. So those are all the elevations, okay, on your teeth. Kung may elevations, meron ding depressions. Okay, so let's discuss some enamel surface depression. So you have a sulcus, a fossa, developmental groove, pit, and supplemental groove. Okay, so sulcus is a long depression or valley between ridges and cusps. Diba? Parang mga bundok, the ridges of your cusp or your cusp could be likened to mountains. Okay, yung mga slope ng mountains, diba? Sa baba ng slopes, you have a flat area. Okay, you call that a valley. Okay, so a flat area, right, between two mountains, so you have this, you call it a valley. Okay, so that's what a sulcus is on your teeth as well. So when your cusp slope down, you form a depression at the center, you call that the sulcus. It is not a groove. Okay? So ibang sulcus, iba yung groove. So it has a developmental groove at the junction of its inclines. Lingual fossa, this is found on the lingual surface of incisors. Ang canines din naman, meron din. Kaso nga lang, ang canines divided into two by the lingual ridge, diba? Meron tayong mesial lingual fossa at distal lingual fossa. Central fossa, it's on the occlusal surface of molars. May premolar ba na may central fossa? Yes or no? Sa tingin nyo, may premolar ba na may central fossa? Yes, no, hindi na matandaan. Okay. Yes, okay. Anong premolar ang merong central fossa? What premolar has a central fossa? There is only one premolar. Yes, it's your mandibular. Second, premolar, Y-type only. Yung hindi Y-type, yung H, tsaka yung U, wala rin silang central fossa. Only the Y-type mandibular premolar has a central fossa. So a central fossa is formed by the convergence of ridges terminating at a central point. Triangular fossa, you can find it on the occlusal surfaces of premolars, mesial or distal to your marginal ridges. Kung ito yung marginal ridges, distal to that or mesial to that. Okay, you have your triangular fossa. You can also find triangular fossa on anteriors. So sometimes, not always, you could find it on the lingual of maxillary, central, and lateral incisor. Okay? So nasaan yung triangular fossa? It's at the edge of the lingual fossa. Ayan. So this is your lingual fossa. It's at the edge of your lingual fossa where your marginal ridge and cingulum meet. Ayan. So meron din siyang triangular fossa, but not always. Then developmental grooves. These are shallow grooves or lines between the primary parts of the crown. Ano ba yung primary part ng crown? Cusp. Diba? You could also find developmental grooves on roots. Okay, so some teeth would have developmental grooves on their roots as well. So kung ito cusp, yan. Okay, so yan yung inyong developmental groups. Separates a cusp from another cusp. Again, developmental groups will separate lobes in your posterior teeth during development. And remember, lobes in your posteriors will become your cusp. Tama? Kaya dun sa fully formed teeth, a developmental groove is seen on or in between your cusp as well. Okay. Ano po ang difference ng sulcus sa groove? Sulcus is the depression. Okay? So kunwari, ito yung dalawang ridge, itong depression na na-form, yan yung sulcus. Kung saan nag-meet yung mga cusp slopes, yan yung groove. Okay? So that's the difference. So, did I answer your question? Okay. So yung sulcus, ito yon. Yan. Itong yung depression na yan. Yung groove kung saan sila nag-meet. Okay. So yung dalawang slopes na yan. Okay. There was a question just recently. Ano daw, recent lang ha, siguro kasi tinanong sa akin last season. So 2 exams ago. Okay. Ang tanong daw sa board exam is, which is deeper, a groove or a pit? What's your answer? Ano ang deeper, groove or pit? Of course, it's a pit. Yan. O di ba? Yun yung mga tanong sa board exam natin. Okay? So supplemental groove naman. Yan. A supplemental groove is shallower than a developmental groove. It's a depression. It looks like a developmental groove, but it's shallower and less distinct. And it is not in between cusp. For example, ito, di ba? It does not separate a cusp from another cusp. You call at the junction of developmental grooves. Okay, so kunwari ito, buccal developmental groove, lingual developmental groove, nagto-terminate yan sa buccal, nagto-terminate sa lingual. So sa termination ng groove, may pit. Junction din sa crossing. O ito, yung dalawa, tas ito may crossing. O meron din kayong pit dyan. O dito rin nag-terminate sa mga mesial at distal part ng tooth, you also have pits there. So there are two places where we could find pits: at the junction of developmental groups and at the termination of developmental groups. These are the places or areas where one can find pits. Okay, so central pit, this is a landmark in the central fossa of molars where developmental grooves join. Okay, so those are all your developmental depressions. Okay, now, whenever your enamel surfaces join, they form angles. So there are two types of angles on your enamel surface. You have a line angle and a point angle. When you say line angle, it is the union of two surfaces. And the names will reflect the surfaces that joined. Kunwari, labio-incisal, labial, saka incisal. Okay. Now, for an anterior, you have 6 line angles. Okay. While a posterior tooth will have 8 line angles. I am talking about an unprepared intact tooth. Kasi pag naggawa na tayo ng cavity preparation, class 1, class 2, class 3, it's either we remove a surface or we expose a surface. So pwedeng dumami, pwedeng kumonte yung line angles. Okay. So again, 6 line angles ng anteriors: labio-incisal, mesio-lingual, mesio-labial, lingo-incisal, disto-lingual, disto-labial. Pag naman posteriors, mesio-occlusal, so ito yon, mesio-occlusal, mesio-buccal, okay, so mesio-buccal line angle, bucco-occlusal, okay, mesio-lingual, then you have your lingo-occlusal, disto-lingual, disto-occlusal, and you have your disto-buccal line angle. Kapag naman union of 3 surfaces, you now have point angles. Okay. Kaya nga ito line angle kasi pag ganyan, o line, di ba? Pag naman point lang. Okay, where these 3 surfaces join. Okay, kagaya nito. Yan, point angle, di ba? Ito, point angle. So for anteriors, you have 4 point angles formed. And for posteriors, you have the same number of point angles formed. 4 pa din. Okay? But once you do a cavity preparation, ito lumalabas to sa resto. Okay? Common question ito. So the number of line and point angles will depend upon the type of tooth preparation that you do. Kung class 1, yan, baka sabihin nyo, Dok, amalgam pa naman yan, di ba? Yes, lumalabas pa rin yung amalgam. Okay? Yung principles ng cavity preparation by G.V. Black. Meron din tayong posterior angle, posterior point angles, 4. 4 din. Anterior and posterior, parehong 4. Yan. So lumalabas pa rin yung principles ng cavity preparation ng amalgam, yung pag-restore with amalgam, ano yung mga steps, lumalabas pa rin yun. Even gold, lumalabas pa rin naman yun. Okay? So the number of line angles and point angles will depend upon your tooth preparation. So kapag class 1 and class 5 pareho, yan, 8 line angles and 4 point angles. Pag class 2 naman at class 4 pareho, 11 line angles and 6 point angles. And pag class 3, have 6 line angles and 3 point angles. So take note of this sa resto kasi lumalabas yan. Although i-discuss din naman to pagdating ninyo sa restorative dentistry or operative dentistry. Okay. Now, okay. For the succeeding topics, we have to know the division of the crown into thirds. Yan. So kapag root naman, apical, middle, cervical lang. We only divide the root horizontally into 3. Cervical, middle, apical. Okay. Pero yung crown natin, there are 3 ways by which we could divide them. Cervico-incisally, or occlusally kung posteriors. So pag cervico-incisally, cervical middle incisal or cervical middle occlusal. Mesial-distally, yan, mesial middle distal, yan, mesial middle distal. And then you have your facial-lingually, labial, middle lingual, or buccal middle lingual. Okay, so let's now discuss concepts, other concepts pertaining to your teeth. So you have contact areas. Contact areas, are areas where one tooth touches an adjacent tooth. Okay, kung saan sila nagko-contact. Okay, now, functions of contact areas, they stabilize the arch. For sure, laging ina-emphasize to sa inyo sa restorative dentistry. Okay. Being a clinical supervisor in the operative dentistry section, ito yung isa sa mga tinitingnan ko. Okay. Whenever you are preparing or restoring a class 2, 3, 4 cavity preparation. Okay. So, lagi kong tinitingnan pag may contact or walang contact. Okay. So, ang contacts kasi have to be restored. Siyempre, kapag walang contact to start with, siyempre hindi na natin yon pipiliting i-restore, right? Okay, but if you have removed a contact area, you have to restore it right away. Because the number one function of a contact area is to stabilize your arch. Anong ibig sabihin nun? It will prevent drifting of your teeth. Remember, our teeth has a natural tendency to drift mesially. Okay? Throughout life yan. So to prevent mesial drifting and to prevent a decrease in your arch length, we have to restore contact areas. Okay, this is the same concept that we use why in pediatric dentistry, we have to treat your proximal caries right away. It is actually a preventive measure for malocclusion. Okay? Kasi ganun din. Pag may proximal caries yun at hindi mo na-restore, it's a space, an open space where the adjacent tooth can drift into. Okay? And the sequela of that is a reduction in arch length. Ano ngayon pag nag-reduce yung arch length? It will cause malocclusion later on. Now, aside from stabilizing your arch, contact areas will also prevent food impaction between teeth and protect the interdental papillae of the gingiva by shunting food toward the buccal and lingual areas. So it will prevent tinga, di ba? So it will make your teeth self-cleansing kasi hindi kayo matitinga. Now, rules about contact areas. Okay. It will never be in the cervical third. When you're looking at your tooth from the facial, contact areas are never found on the cervical third. Why? Meron kayo dyang interdental papillae, di ba? We do not impinge on the interdental papillae or else it will cause periodontal problems later on. Okay? So nasaan ang contact areas from the facial view? It can only be in the incisal or occlusal. It could also be in the middle third or at the junction of the incisal or occlusal and the middle third. Hindi pwede sa cervical ang contact areas. Another mesial contact area, if you're looking at, for example, you're looking at this tooth, the mesial contact area is always more incisal or more occlusal than the distal contact area. Okay, so again, that's a generalization. Okay, so the mesial contact area is always more incisal than the distal contact area. Okay, and another, for example, you're looking at this and this tooth. This is more anterior. This is more posterior. The more anterior the tooth, the more incisal or occlusal the proximal contacts. Okay, so those are some of the basic rules that we need to observe when restoring contact areas. Now, what if you're asked specifically, where can you find the contact on the distal of your mandibular canine? Or the mesial of your maxillary lateral incisor. How are we going to answer that? Are we going to memorize each of the contact areas of your teeth? Marami-rami yan, di ba? I always tell this to my students. When you are reviewing, you have to review smart. Okay, di ba? May mga bagay na iniintindi lang natin. Okay, may mga bagay na kinakabisado natin. Okay, so why do we do that? Kasi if we memorize everything, mababurnout tayo, di ba? Kasi ang dami-dami nating kakabisaduhin. Okay, so may mga iba na we just need to understand. Like, kung may mga rules tayo that we could follow, then we use that rule. Okay, so we just understand. Okay, for example, in the following concepts, puro rules na lang tayo. Okay, so contact areas, ano yung rule natin? We have IJ, JM, JM, all the rest M. Okay, okay, bakit ko sinabing all the rest M? Okay, so kasi pagdating sa, this is your teeth, these are your teeth. Central, lateral, canine, first premolar, second premolar, first molar, second molar, third molar. What do you notice? Lahat ng posteriors from first premolar to third molar, M. Anong ibig sabihin ng M? Middle third. Meaning to say, the contact area of premolars and molars are in the middle third. So, kakabisaduhin na lang natin yung anteriors. IJ, JM, JM. The first letter is the mesial contact area. The second letter is the distal contact area. I for incisal third. M for middle third. And J for junction of incisal and middle third. Okay, so IJ, JM, JM, all the rest M. So dun sa question natin kanina, nasan yung contact area sa mesial ng maxillary lateral? O mesial, this is your maxillary lateral. Mesial, it's at the junction of the incisal and middle third. O, diba? So kahit pa anong ngipin yan, kung alam niyo yung rule na to, madali lang sagutan yung contact area. Diba? Yan, so sabi niyo sana puro ganito na lang yung question kasi this is very specific. Okay, ma-answeran mo talaga yung question by using this rule. Okay. Now for the mandibular incisors, mandibular dentition naman, almost the same. Posteriors natin M pa rin. Okay. Anteriors natin II, IM. Okay? So all the rest M. Now, rules still apply. Okay? Kunwari, Doc, ito bang ibig sabihin nito? Yung II na yan, they are at the same level? Kasi parehong incisal third? No. Okay, ano yung rule natin? The mesial is more incisal. Okay, then distal. Doc, how about this? Okay, pareho silang naging middle third. Ganun din. They are not at the same level. The mesial is more incisal than the distal. Sorry, the mesial is more occlusal than the distal. But there is one tooth that will defy that law. Diba? Ang law natin is mesial is more incisal than distal. There is a tooth that will not follow that rule. That's your mandibular central incisor. Okay, the mesial and distal contacts are at the same level. And so all teeth, the mesial is more incisal than the distal, except for the mandibular central incisor whose mesial and distal contacts are at the same level. Okay? So malalaman natin mamaya bakit yung mesial at distal contacts are at the same level. Question so far? Okay, dun sa contact areas natin bago tayo pumunta sa next concept. Kasi yung next concept natin is related to your contact areas. Okay. I'll just go back. Sabi natin kanina, contact areas are areas where tooth touches an adjacent tooth. Where, paano kung tanungin kayo, where do contacts occur? Saan nagtatouch? Okay, yung mga ngipin natin. Remember, ang ngipin natin, hindi sila square, right? Okay. They have convexities. Okay. Now, pag nag-touch sila, dun lang sa specific na area. So, where do contacts occur? They occur in the greatest convexity of a tooth. Okay, greatest convexity of a tooth. Or what we call the height of contour. Okay, so kung ito yung ngipin natin ganyan, okay, di ba? So kunwari ito yung greatest convexity ko. Yan. So dito mag-occur yung contact. Okay? So contact areas occur in areas that we call the heights of contour or the greatest convexity, greatest curvature, or the crest, kasi ang crest ibig sabihin height of curvature. So, greatest curvature, crest of curvature, pare-pareho lang yan, of the tooth. Okay. So, functions of the heights of contour, they form the contact areas. Again, contact areas occur on the heights of contour of a tooth, on the mesial and distal. Okay. Ang contacts, mesial at distal lang, di ba? Pero ang height of contour, okay, so all around the tooth, meron kayong height of contour sa mesial, sa distal, sa buccal, sa lingual, labial, tsaka lingual. Okay. So another function of the height of contour is to protect the gingiva surrounding the tooth. Now, what if, ang question sa inyo kagaya kanina, where can you find, kanina yung question natin, where is the contact area, di ba? Contact area on the mesial of the mandibular canine and the distal and the mesial of the maxillary canine. Contact area yan. E paano kung palitan natin, okay, ng height of contour? So where is the height of contour of on the distal of your maxillary, distal of mandibular canine and the mesial of the maxillary canine? How do we answer this? Again, hindi natin siya i-memorize. We are going to use rules. Okay. So kapag height of contour, mesial at distal, it is the same as your contact areas. So when you are asked, where is the height of contour mesially and distally, so proximal surfaces, it will just be the same as the contact area. So you could use the same mnemonics, di ba? So for a maxillary proximal height of contour, it's IJ, JM, JM, and all the rest, M. In the mandibular arch, it's II, IM, again, all the rest, M. Diba? So dun sa question natin kanina, where is the height of contour on the distal of the mandibular canine? Distal ng mandibular canine, it's on the middle third. How about the mesial of the maxillary canine, maxillary lateral pala kanina? It's on the junction of the middle and incisal third. Okay, so alam na natin yung proximal height of contour. E paano kung yung question sa atin, where can you find the lingual height of contour on a maxillary canine? O, lingual naman. Or the lingual height of contour of a mandibular first premolar. Paano natin yan sasagutin? Kasi yung mnemonics natin, pang mesial at distal lang. Again, we follow a rule. So anong rule naman kaya yon? Always remember na kapag height of contour na ang pinag-uusapan, huwag malilito ha. Okay, kanina sabi natin pag contact area, hindi pwede sa cervical third. Pero pag height of contour na, facially at lingually, it's always at the cervical third, except for the lingual of your posteriors. Okay, which is on the middle third. Ulitin natin. Pag facial and lingual height of contour, it will always be at the cervical third, except for the lingual of posteriors, which is in your middle third. So, yung question natin kanina is lingual ng maxillary canine o lingual ng maxillary canine? O edi, cervical third. Diba? Pero pag lingual ng mandibular first premolar, hindi na cervical third. Middle third na siya. Diba? So cervical third kapag anteriors, middle third kapag posteriors sa lingual. The rest ng surfaces, buccal, kay at lingual ng anteriors, nasa cervical third pa din. Okay, so that's your contact area and height of contour. Another concept would be your embrasures. Okay, so embrasures are triangular shaped spaces between the proximal surfaces of adjacent teeth. Yan. So whenever you have a contact area, you have embrasures formed. Okay, so embrasures are formed whenever there are contact areas. So kapag walang contact areas, syempre hindi kayo magkakaroon ng embrasure, right? Okay, so for each tooth, for each contact area, how many? Okay, ito lumabas na rin previous exam. Embrasures are formed. 4. Okay, laging 4 per contact area. Ano-ano yung mga yon? Incisal or, cervical or gingival embrasure. That's 1. Number 2, incisal or occlusal embrasure. Okay. And you have your facial. So 3 is facial and 4 is lingual. 4 yan. Incisal or occlusal, depending on the tooth, gingival or cervical, facial, labial or buccal, 4 lingual. Okay, so those are the embrasures formed per contact area. Now, okay, what are the functions? These are your spillways. So we call them your spillways. To direct food away from the gingiva. So because of directing food away from the gingiva, they make your teeth more self-cleansing. They protect the gingival tissue from trauma, from food passage, and provide, so whenever food brushes on your gingiva, they provide the proper degree of stimulation, parang massaging effect to your gingiva. Okay, and another concept. Okay, doon naman tayo sa CEJ, or what we call your cemento-enamel junction, or what you call the cervical line curvatures, or your cervical lines. Okay, so rule lang natin is maxillary cervical lines, cervical line curvatures are greater than mandibular cervical line curvatures. Okay. Anterior cervical line curvatures are greater than your posterior cervical line curvatures. Kaya nga it gets less distinct as you go toward the posterior. Tingnan natin dito. Maxillary greater than mandibular. 8-9, this is universal numbering. So 8-9 is your maxillary central incisor. Ito naman yung mandibular central incisor. Okay. So yung mesial, maxillary greater than mandibular, diba? Okay, mandibular. Ano pa? Pag distal, ganun din. Maxillary greater than mandibular. Okay, how about anterior, greater than posterior? So it gets less distinct as you go toward the posterior. So let's compare your maxillary central and your maxillary lateral. More anterior, more posterior. O, diba? Less than. Okay. So less than yung Sa numbers, hindi naman. So you have the concepts only. Okay? Kasi if you are asked, okay, pero meron ng exam question about the curvature, depth in the mesial of your lateral incisors. So it's really up to you. Kasi class, hindi naman namin masasabi yung na specific ito yung lalabas. So if you are given the concepts, okay, so it's up to you to judge kung i-memorize niyo siya or hindi. Okay, syempre kung ako yung examinee, kung ano yung meron ako, i-memorize ko lahat 'yan, 'di ba? Kasi kahit isang question lang 'yan, kasi we have this tendency to think na isang question lang naman 'yan, 'di ba, sa board exam. Okay, but always remember this. What if yung isang question na 'yan, yung gap nyo lang nung top 1, di ba? Di sana ikaw yung nag-top kasi na-answeran mo ng tama yung isang question na yan. Or, we have this tendency also to say na sana makapasa lang, di ba? Which we do not encourage, di ba? Always aim for the top nga. Pero kung minsan we have this concept na sana makapasa lang. What if yung isang question na yan lang yung bridge mo between passing and not passing? Okay? So, kaya ako ang rule ko lagi, okay, whenever I am reviewing, when I took the licensure exam for both dentistry and nursing, ang sinabi ko talaga, no stones unturned ako. So kung kaya kong kabisaduhin yan or kaya kong aralin, aaralin ko talaga yan. Yan. Okay? So yun lang din yung gusto kong maging principle ninyo, okay, whenever you are studying. Kung meron na, andyan na rin lang yan, then, okay, there is no harm, okay, kapag inalam din natin. Okay, so yan din. Okay, so, di ba, greater than yung anterior tsaka yung posterior. Another rule, on the same tooth, the mesial, again, is greater in curvature than the distal CEJ. So, on the same tooth, the mesial is greater than the distal. So if you are asked what tooth has the greatest cervical line, it will be a maxillary tooth. It will be an anterior tooth and the mesial of that anterior tooth. So what? So maxillary, what's the most anterior tooth? Central incisor, mesial surface. What's the depth of the curvature? It's 3.5 millimeters. Okay? So that's your cervical line curvature. Another concept would be the direction of the curvature. Magkaiba yan from buccal, from facial and lingual at mesial and distal. Magkaiba yung direction ng curvature. Facial and lingual curvatures curve towards your apex. Yan yung curvature. When you're looking at your tooth, facially or lingually. But from the mesial or distal, the curvature is towards the crown. Yan, coronally. Diba? Okay, so they have differences in curvature. All right, so let's discuss some general concepts. Discuss natin yung tooth numbering system, then we'll have a short break. Okay, so there are 32 total permanent teeth, 16 per arch. There are 20 total primary teeth, 10 per arch. Okay, di ba? 10 per arch. Okay. Now there are a lot of numbering systems developed for use, but 3 of them, okay, were used commonly, and okay, they preceded one another. Okay. Actually, yung na-precede lang naman Zsigmondy. Zsigmondy is more popularly called your Palmer system. But I always introduce it as the Zsigmondy system because it was introduced by Zsigmondy. Yun nga lang, yung patent napunta kay Palmer kasi siya yung nag-publish. O, diba? If you talk about life being unfair, talaga, okay? Maski sa mga personalities, mga known personalities, okay? There are also times na life has been unfair to them. Like in this case, kay Zsigmondy tsaka kay Palmer. Okay, so ano na lang yung na-feel ni Zsigmondy, napunta yung recognition kay Palmer, right? Okay, so this is a symbolic system. Okay, ito yung ginamit, yung common na ginagamit nun sa exam ko. Okay, when I took the exam in, 2002 pala ako nag-exam. 2003 siya lumabas kasi that's December. lumabas siya ng February the following year. Ganun katagal yung paglabas ng board exam kay nung time ko. Actually, mabilis na nga yun yung 2 months. Yan. So, Zigmondy system kami nung time na yon. Okay? Ang hirap kasi kung minsan hindi nakakopy kasi typewritten pa nun eh, yung mga exams namin, hindi siya computerized. So, walang mga symbols. Okay? So, kinakopy-copy lang nila yung symbols ng Zigmondy. Kung minsan missing yung isang leg. Okay, so Zigmondy is a symbolic system because you have symbols for the arches. If you divide your arch into 4, you get the symbol for that quadrant. So quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So ito yung sa quadrant 1. Yan, quadrant 1. Ito yung sa quadrant 2. Ganito yung sa quadrant 3. At ganito sa quadrant 4. And yung teeth inside. Okay, so nandito sila. Okay, sa horizontal bar na yan. Okay, so you put the teeth on the horizontal bar. Okay, either on top or under it. Okay, so it was a symbolic system recommended by the ADA in 1947. So during that time, it is a numbering method of choice. Ang numbering system kasi, class, is very important for us to understand each other. Para hindi na tayo magsabi ng, yung maxillary, right, first premolar, di ba? So it's a shortcut way of naming your teeth. It was introduced by Adolf Zsigmondy in 1861 for the permanent edition, but it was published by Palmer in 1870. So 9 years after, pinublish siya. It was modified in 1874 for the primary edition. Okay, so in the Palmer system, again, we have the quadrants, okay, the symbols for the quadrants, and then for the permanent, teeth are numbered 1 to 8, starting from the central incisor to the third molar, and then for the primary, it's letters A to E. From the central to the second molar again. Okay, so yan yung tooth numbering system. Okay, Palmer tooth numbering system. Okay, lumabas na rin yan. Okay, what's the other name for the Palmer system? It's the Zigmondy system. Okay, pero old pa yan. Yan. Then, you have the universal numbering system. So ito naman, military, tawag nila. Okay, nung time ko, tinatawag namin siya military numbering system. Okay, so this is a system used internationally sa US, sa UK, okay, but not in the Philippines. Okay, so this is assigning a number to your permanent teeth. So the permanent teeth is numbered 1 to 32, starting from, you start from the maxillary right third molar. You go over the arch, okay, move down. So yung movement is right to left, left to right. Okay, maxillary arch, right to left, then mandibular arch, left to right. So end with the mandibular right third molar. So 1 to 16, 17 to 32. So movement kapag maxillary, it's right to left. Pag mandibular, it's left to right. So right to left, left to right. Okay. Now for the primary, we assign letters A to T. Okay. So primary naman, it's letters. Capital letters. Okay. For the primary. Now, so ito yung universal numbering system. Okay. And so A to T. A to J, then K to T. Okay, for the deciduous dentition. In the Philippines, what we use is the FDI. It's a it stands for Federation Dentaire Internationale System. Okay, this was adopted by the WHO. It's the numbering system that we use in the Philippines. Each tooth is given a 2-digit number. The first digit, so each tooth, permanent and primary yan, ha? So wala nang pinagkaiba. Mamaya tingnan natin yung pinagkaiba. So the first digit is the quadrant number. Okay. For the permanent, quadrants are from 1 to 4. For the primary, it's 5 to 8. So yung quadrant number sa permanent 1, 2, 3, 4. Sa primary, it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Diba? And the second digit is the tooth number. So 1 to 8. Okay, 1 to 8 from central incisor to third molar. 1 to 5 for the primary, from central again to second molar. Okay, so that's your FDI. Okay, so quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Kapag naman primary, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now what if you were given, handed, okay, sa boards ang ginagamit universal, okay, ang ginagamit nila. Okay, sa board exam. Yan. Yan, what if you are handed a letter, okay, from your classmate kunwari, dentist na kayo pareho. Tapos nagbigay siya ng patient sa'yo. Okay, tapos ito yung letter niya. Okay, yung kanyang letter niya sa'yo. Please restore the following teeth. Okay, tapos nakalagay lang dyan itong mga numbers na to. How are you going to read it? Is it universal or FDI? Is it 11 or 11? Is it 31 or 31? Is it 27 or 27? Always remember, when we are writing down numbers, we put the number sign in the universal numbering system. Pag written pag may number sign, ang universal kasi with or without the number sign. So pag may number sign yan, that's a universal numbering system. Ang FDI, we don't write it with a number sign. Kasi, di ba, ang numbers, this sign is for numbers. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't have numbers called number 37, number 47. We call it number 37 or number 47. So ang FDI, no hashtag sign. Okay? So ang universal numbering lang ang merong hashtag or the number sign, okay, or symbol. Okay? All right. Okay, then we have the dental formula for the deciduous or permanent teeth and permanent teeth. So this will tell you the total number of teeth, okay, found in deciduous and permanent dentition. So for the deciduous teeth, it's I for incisor. So on half of the maxillary arch, you have 2. On half of the mandibular arch, you have 2 incisors. Okay. K9, on half of the maxillary arch you have 1 K9, half of the mandibular arch you have 1. Molars, 2 in half of the maxillary arch and 2 in half of the mandibular arch. You have 10 in half of your jaws. So multiply it by 2, you have 20 all in all. Okay. Permanent naman the same, 2/2, so you have 2 incisors in half of the maxillary and mandibular arches, 1 K9 in half of the maxillary and mandibular arches, 2 premolars in half of the maxillary and mandibular arches, and 3 molars in half of the maxillary and mandibular arch. Total of 16 per half, on half of the jaws, times 2, you have 36, okay, all in. Okay, so that's what we call the dental formula. Okay, and schematic outlines of the tooth crowns. Okay, whenever you're asked to describe the shape of your teeth, they only fall into 3. Triangle, rhomboid, trapezoid. I'm not talking about the occlusal outline. I'm talking about facial, lingual outlines and proximal outlines of your teeth. Okay. So triangles are for the mesial and distal of your anteriors. So canines, laterals, and centrals. Okay. Now, trapezoid. Ito ang trapezoid. You have a long and a short arm. Okay. And 2 non-parallel sides. O, ito hindi sila parallel. So, short, long arms and 2 non-parallel sides. But there are 2 types. We have a trapezoid with a longer arm toward the incisal or occlusal and a shorter arm toward the incisal or occlusal. So the trapezoid with the longest uneven side toward occlusal or incisal, all teeth. Yan. Labially and facially and lingually. Labial and lingual ng anteriors, maxillary mandibular, buccal and lingual ng posterior. Maxillary mandibular din. Okay? So maxillary mandibular. So trapezoid